Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
Kelly Clarkson at me. Was she the first one to sing that song? I feel like she did a cover. Oh no, there's another like John Mayer song also
Sally
called
Googles Things
Beautiful Disaster.
Oh yeah, I used to be like really into that song.
The John Mayer one or the Kelly Clarkson one?
Who do you think I am? I was trash for Kelly Clarkson.
I'm sorry.
Jamie McGuire, it's a novel. Oh my god.
What?
Kelly...
Imagine reading a novel and calling it Beautiful Disaster. It's like, what are you saying about yourself, you know?
Yeah, that you're that person.
You're claiming an awful lot.
Oh my god, is this live? What's happening?
Oh my god. Kelly Clarkson's gonna sue us!
Oh my god, you can edit it out of the podcast.
I don't want to edit out things.
Oh my god, these lyrics are so drama.
I do remember this song.
That's about Matt. She wrote that lyric about Matt. He's as damned as he seems. Why isn't this on Matt's playlist?
You're torturing
me.
Okay,
I just want to get to the chorus. Oh my god.
you skipped it.
Damn it. Okay, we can be over this part of the podcast now.
That was a really exciting part of the podcast.
It's over. Yeah, after this...
If I end up editing that out, that was Sally just playing a YouTube live version of Kelly Clarkson singing her song Beautiful Disaster. It was really educational. I can say that much.
Mm-hmm. I really like those round glasses on you.
Thank you.
They were a really good investment.
I need new contacts.
Yeah, but you look really cute in your round glasses.
I look like Milo Thatch from
That's not a bad thing to look like.
I'm just saying I look like him. I offered no opinion on me.
I just... Usually when I'm like, I look like a cartoon character, I mean it derogatively.
No, Milo Thatch is a regulation hottie. Come on.
He is a hottie, that's true.
I mean, not my type of hottie, but... My type of hottie is Gaul, as he is, particularly as he is described in this segment.
Really hot.
He just looks really hot.
After this, do you want to go to Target with me to purchase makeup for my bird costume on Friday?
There was a lot happening in that sentence.
And possibly get dinner.
I love this segment of the podcast that I usually edit out, but I feel like I'm not going to this time. I just can sort of feel the future. Feel the future. Oh my god, I think we're both manic. I think we're both manic.
Oh no! What's gonna happen? The podcast is going to implode.
Anyway, you were like, after this, do you want to go? Pause, and my mind was like, I want to go where? What's happening? Where are we going? Bowling? Nickelcade? To Ruth's Chris Steakhouse?
I can't afford that. Sorry.
I know, but I got really excited thinking about the steak. And then you were like, to Target. And I was like, ooh, Target. I like Target. Target's a good place. Then you were like, for bird makeup. And I was like, I don't have no further response to this.
And probably hairspray.
That's great. Are you going to dress like a sexy bird a little bit?
My intention is not to dress as a sexy bird, because it is me, it will of course be sexy.
That's so true.
With my, like, dangerous cleavage sweater today that I wasn't anticipating.
It's a very good sweater, and I can, like, I don't want to tell the listeners too much, but she's got a really good bra on, and it's like...
I know, and it keeps popping out, and it's like, thankfully I wore a cute bra today instead of, like, a nasty one. Yeah, this Friday, which will be last Friday when you guys hear this, there's an event at my work.
We have a Buck Wild week, y'all, and we had a Buck Wild week last week.
Today...
We are really scrounging recording times together.
Yeah, today one of my coworkers, he, like, hosts a game night. It's like, are you coming to game night? And I was like, no. I did too much socializing last week. And
Sally did
like,
4 social activities 5, if you count the one on Sunday.
Yeah, if you count my family would.
You kind of do. That's social. Yeah. That's a social group. I did 3, but they were with the exact same group of people every time.
Considering on average I do 0 and you do 1, like...
Yeah, that's true.
A week is pretty exponential.
Yeah, and this week, Sally has the Big Sexy Bird event on Friday.
It's a burlesque show.
I have my usual Thursday obligation. I went to the dentist today. Yeah. I'm babysitting my nephew tomorrow. Saturday is gonna be intense.
I really might see Tom Holland on Saturday.
I might, but that's not the purpose for
But, like,
this.
I'm not saying you might, like, go to his panel or anything. You might just, like, see him. Like, one time I saw Chris Evans on the back of a golf cart.
Oh. Yeah, I might just, like, see him in the wild.
Yeah. And then you can be like, we have a podcast about you.
Oh, my God, don't curse that. If Tom Holland knew about our podcast where we do Tom Holland interludes, I would literally burst into flames.
What if he's one of our Patreons?
You think he's like under a fake name?
Yeah.
He just wants to hear us rag on the bullshit fucking movies he's done.
We always talk about how cute he is.
We're always like, Tom Holland, you were great. Everyone else, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why were there no women in this? What was
and
with
Tom
the
Holland is,
blood-sucking
like,
cousin incest?
Notes. Yeah, oh my God.
And Tom Holland was like, oh, I guess I need to be in more mainstream movies. And we were like, no, shocking. We don't like you in mainstream movies either. We just want you to be in very niche movies. We just want you
to be in Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot explicitly.
And movies with Chris Hemsworth as your father figure.
That one was good too. I also felt really like Pilgrimage worked pretty well.
Oh yeah, with what's his face? John Bernthal.
Yeah,
who's also like, this is my son?
Yeah, they're all just like, this is my son. How can you not be?
He's got big son energy.
The point is, Devin's dragging me to Comic-Con. And I think he does want to go to the Tom Holland panel. He, like, sent me... Oh, my God, this was so cute. Devin sends me... He's like, here is the panel schedule for Saturday on the day that we are going. What looks good to you? And I looked at it, and I was like, I can't emphasize enough to you how much this all means nothing to me. Like, I have a really hard time picking out panels at cons because, like, you just don't know.
Yeah, it's really a total crapshoot.
Yeah, unless you are, like, familiar with all the people on the panel and the moderator, you just have no idea what the experience will be. Mm-hmm. And I didn't recognize any names except for the, like, big panels that were, like, Tom Holland and Ming-Na Wen. I know, she's gonna be there. Devin wants to go to her, too, because he loves her and would die for her. Anyway, I was like, these panels, here are some topics that sound interesting to me. And they mostly intersected. There was one that was like how to get a superhero body or something like that. And I was like, I would die to go to this. And Devin was like, that's good because I also would die to go to this.
Oh my God. You should just please live tweet the con from our podcast Twitter.
Hello, everyone. I am at FanX.
Hello, everybody. I am at Salt Lake Comic Con with my friend Devin. Here's a picture of Devin.
Here's how you should imagine Devin. I asked Devin if he was dressing up, and he was like, if by dressing up he means wearing sensible shoes, yes.
Oh my God. Devin is such a dad.
He really is.
He's under 30 years of age, and he's got Chris Jushaw energy on lock.
Okay, anyway, we can't keep talking about this.
Anyway,
this is going to be an editing mess. Yes, it's a weird fucking week.
Sexy Birds, Tom Holland, death. I have to go to a day celebrating vultures on Saturday.
Nope. Wasn't anticipated. Is that what that stands for?
International Vulture Awareness Day is September 7th, and it is important to recognize the vital role that vultures play in our ecosystem.
I can agree with that. What I'm trying to tell you is that I went to the fridge this morning and pulled out a drink and looked at the calendar and it said EVOD on Saturday.
And you're like, I guess Sally has a date with a Russian vampire.
And I was like, okay, I don't know what this could possibly, this inscrutable, I had to code break our fridge and I came no closer to doing it.
I woke up this morning, looked at the fridge, and it said Sexy Birds, and I was like, okay, Emily took my thunder.
Sorry, I just really wanted to write Sexy Birds on there.
For the record, it isn't the birds that are being presented in a sexual light.
Although birds are inherently, as we all know, very sexy.
They've got the aesthetic power, especially, like, predator birds.
Yeah.
But it is humans doing bird-themed bird bird-themed burlesque and drag and other performances.
I really enjoyed it last year. We saw some really incredible performers. There was this one pole dancer who haunts my dreams.
She's coming back, so that's why you should come.
I really want to go, but I have no one to go with.
Okay, but if you go, there's a potential you'll see Gethin in flamingo drag.
Oh my god, why would you tempt me like that?
We're all really trying to... I say bully because I do probably bully Gethin a little more than I should.
I think some amount of bullying is healthy.
But I was like, today I went downstairs, put something in the mailbox, and I was like, Gethin, are you doing flamingo drag? And he's like, and there's a customer. So, there's a possibility.
Okay, well, I'm all on board with bullying Gethin's. Like, today I remembered how when I was younger, me and my siblings used to, whenever one of us left the house, we would all scramble to lock them out.
Your family is so weird. Like, what?
That's because we were sitting at dinner on Monday for a barbecue, and my cousin Sam came in through the backyard, because he just parks out by the gate, and walked in. And my mom saw him coming and was like, oh my gosh, honey, lock the door, because my dad sits right by the back door. She was like, lock the door and we'll all pretend not to see him, thinking this would be a hilarious joke. And my dad, like, with a hot dog half hovering to his mouth, just, like, stared at her. He could not comprehend how this would be funny.
Yeah.
He just was like, then as Sam came up, he just slowly opened the door for him. And my mom was so mad.
I bet. Your parents always fascinate me.
They have a really combative
their sense of humor appears to be just like leaps and bounds and fathoms opposite, yet sometimes it just coincides.
Sometimes it converges into the funniest stand-up comedy routine in America.
Yeah. It is just like, why was God like, yes, this power couple?
This power couple, cracky, we're gonna do it. Okay, we do have to talk about the Wheel of Time eventually. This is We can't do this again. We did that last week. We have to think of a new joke. Fuck me, right?
I've never had a joke in my life.
I've never come up with a single joke in my entire life. That's a direct quote from Randall Thor. This is Everybody Hates Rand, of your friendly neighborhood Wheel of Time podcast. I'm Emily Jushaw.
And I am the other one.
And that was so close to being the first time that we got through the intro in, like, literally months without fucking it right up. But Sally was just like, I'm just gonna fuck this right now.
Yeah.
Just real hard.
Yeah.
Fast and rough. The way my dental hygienist cleaned my teeth. Fuck, she really is fast and rough, though. I was like, damn, that was over quick, but fuck, my mouth hurts.
Yeah.
Which, damn, okay, we're entering into...
That's what she said. This is EHR After Dark. It's not After Dark. Emily, we're creating a fantasy here in this audio medium. We do not have to tell the listeners if it's...
We can't do this yet. We have to wait till Sexy Igloo...
you're right. I have to get started on my bad sex scene to launch the Sexy Igloo.
Oh, you were going to write one? I forgot.
I might.
Okay, that would be really cool. Are you going to use characters from the Wheel of Time?
Oh my God,
or are you going to invent, like, just, porn characters like Pamela and... Jermathan.
Jermathan Steelrod. I'm writing it down.
I'm so mad that we're both manic right now.
Jermathan. You guys get ready.
Germ for sure. Obviously.
Jermathan. Like, I'm writing it.
I just want everyone to know that joke wasn't intentional. I tried to say Jeremy and Jonathan at the same time.
Jermathan. Porn name.
Oh, God.
I can't wait.
We have to add a Jonathan to the Larry the Trolloc coterie, and then he and Jeremy the White Cloak can have a steamy love affair, and their celebrity couple name can be Jermathan.
Yeah, who would Jeremy fuck? Let's really dive into his psyche.
We can't keep doing this, Daniel.
Please, Daniel, we can't. Jermathan.
We have to talk about the really bad gender dynamics in these two chapters.
I think that's what I'm avoiding, because it's
it's really hard.
Remember a while back, I think it was the beginning of season 2,
when we were just like, it's so fucking stupid that there are these differences. Yeah, I do remember.
And we had a whole episode where we just said the word deflowered like 420,000 times.
Yeah, and I haven't thought about that word until just now, so thank you for scarring me again.
I'm sorry, it's just such a bad word. But this chapter just brings all those bad gender politics right back up to the surface and then shoots them out in a magma of shit.
It's meant to be comedic, is the unfortunate part. Like, it would almost be better if it was written in earnest, because then I could just mock it mercilessly.
Yeah.
But this is, like, supposed to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But I'm like, the central idea that you are playing off of is this, like, heteronormative gender dynamics bullshit.
Today I learned the new slang word, hetrify, which is when the heterosexuals petrify you.
Oh, man. She hetrified me.
Hetrified.
That happens to me a lot with some of my friends.
Well, they're doing their best, we think.
Who knows? Well, really, I was impressed by this chapter, and I don't mean impressed in a positive way, was how much the dialogue in these two chapters, which, by the way, we read chapter 7 and 8, reminded me of the Bachelor franchise.
Oh my god!
It literally felt like Edwene would say something, and then it would cut to, like, her confession on the camera, being like, of course I didn't believe him that he wasn't hurt by me breaking up with him.
Yeah.
Men are too fucking stupid to not feel. It was just so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just... We should just have a mourning ceremony this episode for how shitty these two chapters are.
Here are some highlights.
Oh my god.
Oh, I just almost called Galat.
It's okay. When I was reading it, my brain was like Galat, and then I was like, what?
Yeah, no, Gal, who is described as being so tall, beautiful eyes with these thick, dark lashes that make it look like he's wearing eyeliner, and it's like, maybe he is wearing eyeliner. Who fucking knows? He's in his late 20s. That's a really sexy age.
Sexy age.
For me, where I'm at in my life.
I would agree.
And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, what if?
I was like, damn, this is really sexy. And Sally was like, yeah. And then we both made a motion like we were opening our legs.
Yeah, it was very iconic. Because he's just so hot. Listen.
It's just so funny. There's also, this I will find comedic, that Edwene and Elayne, prior to going to Rand's chambers to perform the exchange, TM, carefully planned their wardrobes ahead of time.
Yeah.
And Elayne was like, I'm going to look as slutty and expensive as possible.
Yeah.
And Edwene was like, I am going to look as frumpy as possible. Yeah. So I'm going to be wearing this scarf and sweating the entire time.
Yeah.
And Elayne is like, I'm just in this low cut. So mostly what I find hilarious about that is them walking up to the ale and the ale being like, so what's happening?
Gal being like,
now I don't know much about fashion, but I do see some discrepancies. Yeah. It is in fact at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Homegirl here has her titties bare to the world.
Yeah.
Sapphires in her hair. She's drenched in perfume.
Yeah. And
homegirl over here is just like doing her best Matt Cathon impersonation.
Yeah.
So it's just really legendary.
Yeah. Yeah, I especially love the idea that Egg and potentially Nynaeve were like, no, you have to go sluttier. Nope, sluttier.
Nope, more tits.
Nynaeve is in the corner like,
let me see them.
Yeah.
Let me see them.
Right above the nipple.
Yeah, right. You have to be constantly on the verge of a nip slip or he will not pay attention to you. Men are too stupid.
Men don't have any feelings besides
Yeah, they
nipple.
Don't know you're looking at them unless your nipples are making eye contact.
Oh my god. It's a lot. But anyway, I bet Elayne looks snatched.
Yeah, I'm sure Elayne looks like a major hottie. There's also a hilarious scene where after Edwene leaves and Elaine's like, does her whole, okay, well, Rand, now I'm into you, so get in this pussy. And Rand is like, okay, great. And then Gaul comes to the door and is like totally expecting that they're gonna be fucking.
Yeah.
he's like, has to come in, but he's like keeping his head down. And then he looks up and is like, oh, they're just standing like a foot apart. You could put a Bible between them. And he's like, that wasn't what I was anticipating.
He was like, boo!
He was like, why'd you get your tits out then?
He's like, listen, girl, I only get my tits out when I'm ready to fuck.
Yeah, he was like, excuse me?
Excuse me.
Yeah,
your tits deserved better.
Yeah.
You put them through all this work.
Yeah, look,
and they didn't even get fondled.
Oh my god. I just went through, like, every stage of emotion right there. There was, like, the strong feminist, like, yeah. But then I was like, oh, Rand. Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
oh.
It's gross. It's gross to think about Rand having sex with anyone, which is why the sex igloo scene is particularly traumatic.
It's real bad. You haven't even got to the Elayne and Rand sex scene.
I don't want to.
That one might be worse.
The Min and Rand sex scene was also really terrible.
Oh, yeah, that one was horrible, but, like, on a whole other level of bad sex politics.
Yeah.
Like, Avienda and Edwin, at least he's not like, and I raped them, I thought.
Yeah.
It was just so bad. Okay.
What if Rand didn't have any relationships with women?
I think we've put that forward before. Asexual Dragon Reborn, how powerful would he be?
Incredibly
powerful.
What if all the characters were ace, and then there was Les, Egg, and
then there was Les Egg.
And then Matt, a bisexual legend.
He really is, though.
Of a disaster boy.
A bedazzled bisexual legend.
Listen, if Matt had a bedazzled coat,
he pretty much does, I feel like, at all times.
I feel like we've put Matt in a denim jacket before, but what if we bedazzled that denim jacket?
What does it say on the back in bedazzled?
Can't
go with juicy, that's too obvious.
What about business slut? Like Jenna before him.
Oh my god. I was gonna say something like Bush did 9/11 or something. That one's better.
Because he's such a rich boy and a slut.
He really is, though.
Business slut.
Oh my god.
Okay, anyway, Egg is like, I don't love you. And Rand's like, oh my god, I don't love you either.
And she's like, no, you fool, you're too stupid to make
She's
these
like,
choices
yes,
for
you
yourself.
do. You love me, but I'm transferring that love for you.
She whips a spray bottle out and is like, yes, you do. Shut up. Shut up. You can't make decisions for yourself.
So dumb.
You're too stupid. Okay.
Also, there's some, like, power stuff.
Yeah, in the beginning, like, Edwin and Elayne come in and are like, hello, we're here to help you with things. And he immediately is like, here are 4 things you could help me with. Like, I would like to know someone who can speak the old tongue. I would like to know the answers to these questions. I would, like, da-da-da-da-da. And they're just like, well, no, we're not going to help you with those things, and we're not going to think about them or make any effort to actually be of assistance to you. We're going to stick with the track that we have concocted for this meeting, which involves them kind of exploring the one power together, which is super fun and sexy, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it also, like, again, in a very Freudian way, with, like, then what happens with Rand and Elayne, it's very, like, look, they're having, like, sex with the power before they stick their tongues down each other's
you mean, like, it's a little bit of foreplay? Yeah. I mean, there is, like, some groping that happens.
Which is gross.
Yeah, which is real gross. Don't pinch butts.
I've never understood.
Unless you and your partner have consented to that ahead of time.
Unless you've put it on your yes, no, maybe list.
Yes. Exactly.
But if it's in the no category, then you don't do it. If it's in the maybe category, you revisit it before you get a little pinchy in there.
And that, folks, is Sex Ed with Sally.
Yep. I am very invested in the concept of yes, no, maybe lists.
That's a really good... I've never heard of that before.
I really read about it on Salty, which is the fun newsletter that I love, and also Autostraddle, which is like the queer women online hub. Yeah, they both wrote articles about them, and I was reading about them, and I'm really... where you literally just sit down with a bunch of sex acts and you say yes, no, maybe with your partner, and then you have like a working language for how you want to engage with each other in a sexual way.
It sounds really like efficient and sexy, the way sex should be. Well, not necessarily efficient. Take as much time as you want.
I don't know what's happening with us this episode.
We're in a really weird place this episode.
It's the sexy birds
hovering
on the horizon.
Definitely what it is. The ominous...
the ominous threat of a sexy toucan.
The looming silhouette of a... Stop! Sally's just waving her arms around. It's really upsetting me.
What is happening? Okay,
Oh
Rand and Elayne make out or something.
Rand can.
Rand can. Can you do the Rand can?
Fuck you. Fuck.
Rand can.
We are keeping it together. It turns out Rand can sense when women are holding the power, which is dumb because then women don't have the same like evolutionary instinct for when men are holding the power.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit wacky.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's all this discourse about like the girls being like, well, we embrace the power.
Surrender.
We surrender to it. Yeah, excuse me. We are always the submissive partner in the relationship. And Rand's like, well, I'm always the dominant partner in the relationship. As though he and Avienda in a BDSM relationship would be.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Avienda tops.
Avienda's a major dom. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, good fucking for her, but...
Yeah.
Quit it, Rand.
She's got that big dom energy. I'm ready.
Definitely does. So sexy. Oh yeah, the scarf and the sapphires came from Avienda, which is just
yes,
hilarious.
I forgot about that.
They're like, why do they have? They're like, why does she have this stuff? And Avienda's like, looting.
I did looting.
And when they come up and are chatting with the ale, and Gaul's like, yeah, he's in a real bad mood. He literally threw a guy across the floor earlier today. He almost made it all the way there, but he didn't quite, so I had to give a tapestry to this guy. This guy who in the background is just like, yeah,
I got a tapestry.
And Edwin and Elayne are like, we have no idea how to respond to this, because they're boring.
Listen, I have no idea how anybody could not just love the ale body, mind, and
5
soul.
seconds with the ale, and I would be dying laughing. They're all so hilarious.
They're so funny.
They're so fucking good.
Yeah, like if Gaul was like, ran through a guy and I lost a bet, I'd be like, hello, would you like to have sex right now?
I'd be like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he'd braid my hair.
Yeah, or something.
Fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, then Edwin's like, I'm breaking up with you. Here's Elayne. And leaves. Except Rand forgets that Elayne is there because, I don't know. Rand the entire time, by the way, is like blushing excessively and getting really flustered. And they're all like, what is this about? And it's because he actively had a sex dream about Elayne the night before. Which is just a really uncomfy knowledge for me, the reader.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You have a sex dream about a person and then you see them the next day and it's like, oh, this is a little awkward.
Yeah, but it's also...
a dream.
A dream.
It's not real, my guy. No matter how weird your dreams are.
Yeah.
Which, you know, they are super weird.
Yeah, but again, Rand just has a weird shame relationship to sex that he, like, can't manage it in a healthy way, i.e. after sex, Igloo, let's get married, i.e. after men, he's like, oh my god, I raped her.
I.e. in this scene, oh my god. This scene, we just need to say it, does not read like a sexual relationship. It reads like a mother and a son talking to each other. It is incredibly troubling.
Which is especially gross, because isn't Rand's mom the one, his biological mom, the one who comes from Andor?
Yeah, Rand's biological mother is in fact the former daughter heir of Andor, so the parallels there are just like way too much to ignore.
Yeah, especially because I think you've talked about it on a previous episode, how Rand's 3 love interests like represent aspects of himself that are just mirrored back to him, like Andor, the ale, and like being a farmer. Yeah,
Rand's 3 aspects of himself are also like incredibly incestuous. It's the most obvious, I think, with Elayne, but with Avienda and Min too, it gets real gross real fast.
Yeah, but Elayne is very like belittling. She's very much got like a holier than thou attitude. She like scolds him.
She constantly calls him by his name, like Rand, can you say my... Now, call me Elayne. Can you say my name? And he's like, Elayne. And she's like, good.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is seriously the grossest shit I've ever read. Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
There's also the whole, she's like, maybe you don't even know how to kiss. And then he kisses her. And she's like, oh, I guess you do know how to kiss. And it's like...
It does kind of read like a weird porno.
It's reads, like, yeah, like he's delivering a pizza or changing an appliance or something, and she's, like, the MILF in a silk robe.
Yeah. Or he's her literal son in some gross incest
yeah, gross.
porn.
Ooh, yeah. Blech.
Blech.
Blech. Blech. Yeah, and then there's this whole, like, once they've made out, Rand's all like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't want to, like... They're both, like, dancing around the subject of sex. Both of them saying, I do not want to have sex at this time, but I'm also a teen, so I have a lot of hormonal, physical urges towards sex.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, a lot for me right now. And Elayne is like, no, I don't want sex. I just wanted to tell you how I feel. So that you could... With my tits out. So that you could know exactly how much ownership I am claiming over you before I leave. Because she keeps bringing up the fact that she's leaving. It's just like...
It's very unhealthy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to go over it line by line because it's just so, like, gross.
Yeah, and it is one of, like, one of the, like, sterling examples of this book's, like, hidden misogyny. Just, like, the way that women are portrayed, especially in their relationships to men, as extremely manipulative and, like, calculating in every move, and that, like, they're offering their body and, like, sex in trade as, like, a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, in trade of things that they want, and using their sexuality as a weapon, and all these things that women have been accused of for centuries is being put in, like, gross display in this book that allegedly treats women with so much respect.
Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. The, like, secret misogyny of this book is having... This entire series is having every woman be portrayed as manipulative. Because there's such a stark difference between having a woman who's portrayed as clever. You can read all about it in Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, which we talked about in the most recent release of We Don't Watch Outlander, very briefly. But the protagonist in that book is a very calculating, clever person. And that's totally different than being a manipulative, condescending person. I also think of, like, the next book and a little bit in this book, when the wise ones, in the Ale Wise Ones, keep throwing Avienda at Rand in really gross ways, and it's never outright stated, we want you to fuck him, or we want you to use your body in such and such way. Yeah. But, like, that is the implication. And it's just like, ugh. Yeah, it's just, you're just so right. That's so good.
Yeah, the sexual politics of this book are rock, paper, fucked, sky high.
Yeah, it's real bad.
So anyway, remember how hot Gaul is?
Yeah, it's really
hard
to forget.
6'9".
Oh my god, I can't.
Oh my god, I just want to, like, climb him.
No, like a goddamn little tree.
Yeah.
We don't even have enough content to fill this dumb episode.
Well, we have another chapter. Because after that, Rand has some, like, boring conversation with the Tyrant Lords about taxes and politics, where he's, like, thinking about Elayne the entire time.
Yeah, the entire time he's like, Elayne and Egwene, but then these guys are like, we don't want to lower taxes, we don't want to send the grain that we have way too much of to Ilion to sell, because we're racist and we hate them. And we also don't want to have a treaty with Mayene, however you fucking say that.
Maine.
Yeah, because we hate Elayne, because we... are huge misogynists.
Yeah, we hate Elayne because we're misogynists and we want to fuck her, but she won't fuck us, so we hate her.
Yeah, so what the fuck? And Rand at the end is just like, okay, I tried talking to them about this, but they're not listening, so now I'll just be like, this is what you're doing. And it's like, fine, that's an efficient way to run a country, I guess. It literally falls apart, though, the second that Rand leaves, so I don't know. I want to care about Rand's political career, you know, and the ways in which he finally kind of learns how to handle running a country, i.e. just delegating it to Elayne.
He's like, I don't know what I'm doing, Elayne, you do it. And she's like, super competent.
Yeah, Ruark is like, great, here, I'll just do it.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, seriously.
Ruark's like, I've been running countries since I was 4.
Yeah, honestly. But it's like, I just don't care about Rand. There's also a super gross thing where Elayne leaves and then Rand is, like, talking to the Terran Lords and she, like, looks back and is like, he's got such a commanding presence. And, like, I know men who just are natural leaders and he doesn't know it yet, but he is one. And it just made me think about how male leadership abilities are so often tied to the physicality of their capacity to draw attention and command a room. Whereas if a woman draws attention in a room, it is because she's sexy or something.
Yeah, also, I feel like there are so many ways in which, like, human attraction is constructed. Like, if you read about the porn industry, it's very interesting the way that men are taught that women should behave certain ways in bed, but women are also taught that they should behave certain ways in bed, and et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like we've constructed this, like, attraction for women to, like, men in power and a man who can take power. Where literally whenever men are, quote-unquote, imposing in a room, it only makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah, and it usually only ends poorly, actually, for the women involved.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily leadership abilities and, I don't know, capacity to command a room are not necessarily inherently sexy abilities. Men just want them to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they just want to be like, I'm in charge and I fuck. Like,
I'm in charge, therefore I fuck.
Yes.
And it's like...
Good.
No. That ain't how it works.
Yeah.
Or it shouldn't be how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because when you take a look at the dark side of that, you see, like, in the Me Too movement, all these men have been exposed for taking that quite literally, like, I'm in charge and therefore
I get what I want.
Including the bodies of women, usually, but also men around me. It's a very toxic mindset. And, like, again, on an individual basis, if you, like, love it when a man is in charge in life or in the bedroom, whatever, but on, like, a cultural basis.
Yeah, it's fine when it's an individual thing, but when you try and put that on an entire gender and an entire gender dynamic, then that really fucking sucks. Because you're right, I personally get just, like, tense whenever men in charge.
Yeah, or whenever a man is using the, like, stereotypical, like, he's raising his voice, or he's stepping into the center of the room, or he interrupts you.
Yep.
Or all of these things. Like, they just make me super uneasy, and I, like, go into fight or flight mode.
Yeah, so that's grody.
Yeah.
But then we have, Rand with the Lords. Then we have Edwina and Matt.
A very tender little scene.
A very tender little scene wherein Edwina's walking along, and Matt just, like, pops up next to her, keeping pace, and she's like, oh my god, he smells.
She's like, she's like, his hair needs to be brushed, he's sleeping in his coat, he's winking at all these old women.
Literally, there are, like, 4 instances of Matt in this, like, 5-page thing alone, where women are like, hey, and Matt's like, oh, hey, and Edwina's like, what is happening?
She's like, I don't see the appeal, and all of us are like, we do, though.
Yeah, like, I get it.
That's sex appeal, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Not an imposing man is this lanky boy.
Unkempt,
lank boy.
Oh my god, Rand does have a very endearing moment when they walk in and he's got his... He's reading, and he has his legs sprawled over the leg of the couch, and I was like, oh my god, that is big, long-limbed person energy. I cannot sit in a chair normally. Yeah. My legs are, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
God. Okay, anyway. Yeah, Matt, stork boy extraordinaire, is like, hello. And Edwine's like, hi.
Let you go, what's happening?
What brings this up? And they have this little chat wherein she's like, you've kind of been avoiding us. And Matt's like, well, that's because the last time I saw you, you were going through my personal belongings to get to the letter that you gave me. And Edwine is like, to be fair, that was definitely a loan. We weren't giving that to you, and you wouldn't give it back to us when we asked. He's like,
but he also said that they, like, tied him up.
Yeah.
With
so
weave.
It's
so
all
it's like,
just bad.
Why do the girls, seriously, like, say it once, say it 100 times, stop touching Matt without his consent.
Misuse of power.
Fuck.
Oh my god. Then Matt's like, well, actually, I wanted to talk to you. And Edwine's like, okay, about what? And he's like, I was kind of hoping for advice. And she's like, oh, this is fun and exciting. I really like this. What do you need advice about? He's like, I don't know. And she's like, I'm going to push him off the wall. I'm going to literally... He's, like, sitting on a railing. And she's like, I'm literally just going to walk over there and shove him, and he'll die. And it'll be so pleasurable for me. They have the funniest...
I know.
Like, this is the most brother and sister relationship. It's very good.
Yeah.
I, too, when I'm talking to my brother, veer wildly between little cutie and I'm literally going to murder him right now. Literally, I'm going to drown him in our spoon. Goodbye, Adam.
Welcome back and goodbye.
Welcome back and goodbye. So, there's that. But Matt is basically like, hello, here are some of my insecurities. No, I don't want to leave, but I want to know what to do about these various things. How do I fill the holes in my head? How do I... What's my fucking destiny, you know? How am I supposed to deal with this? Yeah. And Edwin's like, okay, well, I really don't know. Maybe you should talk to Moiraine about it. And he's like, I don't want to talk to Moiraine.
He's like, I don't know how many ways I have to say this, babe.
I want to know how many... I'm terrified of Moiraine.
She scares me.
She's Rosamund Pike. She's hard.
She's gonna punch me.
She's Gone Girl.
Yeah.
She's gonna frame me for murder and leave me.
Yeah.
Fuck, did I just spoil Gone Girl for people?
Fucking Gone Girl sucks ass.
Ben Affleck's dick. Or whatever. Anyway, then Edwin is like, well, there is, like, if you get Moiraine's permission, maybe you could go through this, like, doorway. And she tells him about the doorway that she just learned about.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, like, fucking Alibaba and the Prince, or whatever the equivalent is. And she's like, no, you fucking infant.
It's real.
It's real, doofus. I read all about it, and there was some vague foreshadowing of Rand reading all about it in the last chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally real, and it could totally work. But don't go through it, because it's really dangerous, and I don't want you to die, and whatever. And Matt's like, okay, well, why'd you even fucking tell me about it if you didn't expect me to immediately walk through it? Look at me, I'm an idiot. I have the impulse control.
He's got animal brain. What do we always say? Lizard brain. He's got lizard brain.
Matt is that meme of, like, when my significant other is gone, I cut all the sleeves off my shirts because I have no impulse control. That's Matt.
Yeah, lizard brain. Gotta touch it. Gotta walk through it.
Gotta touch it.
The other day I was in Home Depot with my mom, and there were these, like, huge containers of, like, cleaning liquid, but they looked like grape juice. And I was really tired, and so I just, like, walked over and stared at them, and my mom was like, what are you doing? And I couldn't say, like, my lizard brain wants to drink this. And I was like, it just smelled nice over here. And she's like, okay. But it seriously looked like such good grape juice. And my lizard brain was like, drink it. I don't even like grape juice. It's too sour. I want my juice to be sweet. I'm gonna drink juice. I want it to taste like liquid candy.
Okay.
Like apple juice. I love apple juice.
I hate apple juice.
I love me some appy juicy.
I hate the texture.
Of apple juice? It's liquid.
I don't like it.
You don't like the liquid texture?
There's textures to the different juices.
That's gonna haunt me.
There are. It feels like, to me,
I don't like applesauce.
Maybe fair I have enough. one of those weird, like, sense mix-ups, you know, where I taste things and they feel like
synesthesia.
Yeah. Anyway,
maybe they do have a texture. I'm an idiot, so
no, you're not.
I just like put that on the table. I'm full dumbass, and I embrace it.
No, the full dumbass here is definitely Matt, who's like, I won't do it. Promise.
Wink.
And Edwin's like, oh my god.
He's like, only if my life depends on it, which Matt feels that way 100% of the time.
Matt is constantly in a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Haven't had anything to drink in the last 10 minutes.
Dying.
Haven't gambled in a day.
Dead.
Dying. Haven't fucked in like a week.
Dying.
Oh man, in the grave.
Here lies Matt Cathon. Once he fucked. Now he's dead. Dead from a dry spell.
Okay, well, that's enough of that, I feel.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about these chapters?
No, they were stupid, and I hated them. I only liked the part where Matt was involved.
That was
but that's how I feel about the Shadow Rising as a whole. That could be my review of the whole book.
Yeah, if Matt's there, it's great.
Or Gaul. Oh my god. I love Gaul when he kisses his perfect face.
The next chapters, unfortunately, will involve Lanfear, so get ready for that.
Get your tits out, kids.
Yeah, get your titties out and just hold them while you're in a sports bra, so it's a little hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to Glenna McKenzie for the use of our fabulous theme song. Thank you to all of you for listening.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's been tweeting about the show and commenting on our Instagram and our Tumblr and stuff. I'm sorry if I've been a little bit absent. It's been, again, a busy, kind of weird couple of weeks where my emotional energy was needed elsewhere, but I'm hoping to get back to you very soon. And it's just always such a delight to hear what parts of the episode you thought were funny or smart or anything you learned or interesting points, counterpoints, anything. We just love hearing from you. It really is, like, reading should be a conversation. So thank you so much for all of you who converse back to us. We really love you. And you can find us on the internet if you want to chat on Twitter at EHR_podcast, on Twitter at EverybodyHatesRand, and on Tumblr at everybodyhatesrand.tumblr.com. We also have an email if that's more your speed, everybodyhatesrand@gmail.com. And that's it.
The various inboxes are open.
Yeah, wide open.
Like our legs when Gaul walks on screen.
You bet.
Woof.
Oh
would you like to... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to ask if you would like to sign us off.
Yes, I don't want to dig through my phone to find one of the listener messages. I'm sorry, guys. I will get back to them, but I don't want to make Emily do that because we've already been recording for God knows how long. So what bad things have happened? This is a really petty administrative trial that I went through today, but today everyone at the aviary was, like, going a little bit crazy because we had this huge check that everyone was like, we don't know what this check is for, we don't know what there's so much money and we don't know what it's for. And they literally handed it to me, and in the memo line, it said exactly what it was for. And I, like, looked at it, and 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, this is for this. And they're like, oh my God, how do you know? And I had to be like, it's right here in front of both of my bosses and the accounting team.
It's called reading skills, baby.
Yeah, and I was like, what is
reading
happening?
rainbow?
It was so tragic.
What's the story, Wishbone?
And then I went back to bully Gethin more about doing flamingo drag.
And we can only hope, dear listeners, updates to follow.
Updates to follow.
This is a breaking story. Bye.